Manchester United, of course. The question is, how big has he done in the previous club that he has been in there? Eddie Howe, the man in charge of Newcastle. With all that money, what do you expect from him? And shall he take Newcastle United to the next level? But of course, leaving that there, let's start with the big stories in the region. And now, in the region, right now in the boxing world, remember Arua City Boxing Club started it on a good note, of course, trying to revive boxing in Uganda and of course in Arua. Out of that, they have one more thing to do. That is promoting more names too. That is the UBF. Now, as I talk, the UBF have signed two of the ladies, that is Arafat and Sauda, who are going to be representing, of course, Arua City and, of course, at the national level. Look at that. And in the UBF, I'm talking about Uganda Boxing Federation. My name is Owen, and, of course, joining me right here is Oscar, the Brazilian. Oscar, most welcome and good afternoon.
Well, thank you so much. It's another very wonderful day, and I feel this is one of the most interesting days because West Nile actually is doing it again. I mean, two boxers being signed, it's a very, very good news.
And of course, in the studios too, I have Joe Gaddafi, our, of course, another big guest in here. He's always there. He comes when matters arise, and probably if things go on well, they will be with Oscar one-on-one for quite a long time right here. But of course, it's a pleasure having you in the studios, Joe.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here once again.
Now, of course, let's start with this very, very big, of course, you could be talking about a big point, and the Arua City started like a joke, and jokingly they have had the exhibitions. You saw the one at Mirador, there's that one that was at Coco Palm, but of course this boxing club was called and to go and have trials in that is the national trials in Kampala, and after there these two ladies went up to the semi-finals and they were ejected. But now the good news coming is that they are being signed in by UBF, or the Uganda Boxing Federation. How good is that, Mr. Joe? How good is that for these two young ladies?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's been long overdue. If you look at boxing in our region, we've not had this kind of even trials. How many times have we sent our ladies or our men boxers to go for trials at the national level? So this time, it's a good thing for the region, not just for Arua, as much as the club is right here in the city. But it could be a good eye-opener for the rest of the districts within West Nile, that if at all they can, try to invest the little they have in the game, maybe the federation can actually come, down and also pick up some of these boxers. But to me, most interestingly is the years it has taken for us to, find our way into at the national scene in boxing. You see the difference just after a few weeks of training. These things are happening, the breakthroughs are coming in. I think if this thing had started a long time ago, and it should be across all the sports disciplines we have, not just boxing, if we can have a very vibrant volleyball team. We had a Arua volleyball club, but it's nowhere to be seen today. We also had the basketball team right at Arua Hill. Now their pitch has been destroyed. I think the only basketball court we have is the one at Arua Demonstration down there. And you can see we have so many young people that would want to be part of that sport, but we don't have the facilities. There's only one facility. So everyone within the city and the surrounding areas have to go to Mvara. So how enough is the facility for everyone? But it's a good thing for the ladies that made it to the national level. They can inspire more young girls also to look at the same, to look towards the same path.
Now, looking at that, that's of course the ladies themselves. They have tried, yes. Before, when the team was not all that organized, they had everything it take to see that they kept training, making it there. And of course, when the federation, the boxing club came organized, they still had to be in under that. Now, Oscar, looking at these ladies, you've seen how fit they have always kept, how active they have kept in the trainings, how they have mattered. They have this time round surprised the world, because people used to think it is all about the boys, but the boys didn't make it even up to the semis or the semi-finals. But for them, they pushed it up to there. Now, in the next 2 years or next 5 years, where do you think you're going to see these ladies?
Well, it is. It's a good thing to see, especially where this trend actually where it's taking. I must admit, I jog every day, and every morning that I jog, I meet one of the ladies jogging. It's unfortunate I only meet one. I don't know where the other one jogs. Maybe for us, coincidentally, we use the same route. But I think the morale and the passion is there into this lady. I think that's Arafat. She has the passion, and she's young, but she wants to succeed. She wants to go somewhere, and she's always doing it. And that to me is a plus, because no matter the situations you have at hand, we all know that they don't have basic equipments that is needed. The gloves, even the boxing ring, it's not there. They don't even have good, training even in a gym. I'm not quite sure which facilities they actually use. Even it gets to the issues of using even the attires. I don't think they have the adequate one. But I think just within even not having this, the boxer needs to have that passion, and you need to always convince yourself that this is not yet the time for you to smile. It's just the time for you to sacrifice, and the time for you to smile and probably to earn big will come later. But the path that leads you there is equally not easy. So I think where Arua City Boxing Club is actually heading is a good thing, and how I wish that the leadership gets stronger, they get much more organized, and they start bringing in sponsors. And bringing sponsors depends on how you package the product that you want somebody to come and identify with. How do you put it together? Just say how Arua Hill, from someone would say not from a very, very rich background, but how they packaged it even from the big league. You would hardly see a team from big league being followed that much. So it's now a challenge to the management. How, I don't know, there's a gentleman who speaks for them as in terms of their publicity.
Yeah.
But I feel there's a way the media department or public relations should be handled. Way different from what somebody thinks, that I should only go on radio and talk, I should only be waiting for a media visibility opportunity. I think if they take it way beyond that mentality, they can package it well. And the most important thing that can make it sell much faster is because the face that are actually succeeding are the face of the girls, which you rarely see. But I think this is a plus. And my other action point for them would be for them to look at this as a way of, if possible, with time, they need to start it as an inter-school kind of a challenge. You start from primary, then you get to secondary. I think that's where boxing is going to spread faster. And if they could get all the stakeholders, possibly the people in education, the sports office, they enroll it as part of the sporting activities. At least every year should be part of the co-curricular activities that people have around. That is how football and netball has been there for ages. So if they could add on to this, at one point we used to also have volleyball, we could have softball and netball, but to my dismay, I think softball started with Muni girls, and I'm thinking slowly it's dying with Muni girls. Because I would see Bara, I would see Joffrey girls, I would see those days Logiri girls, Mandela. But the team that actually did it, but that even won the national championship was Muni girls. They were supposed to go to South Africa. I don't know what happened, but up to date, I think we have not picked, or they did not pick up well from then. Around 2007, 2008. By then, if we had made it stronger, volleyball or even softball and the baseball would be part of the most selling disciplines in West Nile. And one thing I agree is that whichever sporting discipline you bring in West Nile, the talents are always there.
What does it mean for that? Because one of the biggest activity that was brought was wood ball sometime back, and Muni was leading that, Muni University moreover, and up to now it has never come to anywhere. It stopped on that day when we covered it. Up to now it has never been heard about anymore. But of course, at the boxing thing in there, let's look at
just maybe to add on boxing. If you look at the history of boxing in this country, I think it was only Idi Amin Dada that really tried to put boxing on the map. And the last time we saw boxing in Arua or in this region at a very serious level was in 2004. There was a competition at
White Rhino.
Golf
Club.
That's where it happened. And then you look back at the history, Arua was known for boxing because of Amin. Now, there came a time in 1992, I think, when Arua Boxing Club hosted the inter-regional boxing competitions, and that's where people go to know about boxing this side. But unfortunately, in 1999, their home was Arua Social Center. 1999, they were evicted from there, and boxing being an indoor activity, of course, there's nothing much they could do, and that's how it collapsed.
Now,
it just collapsed like that. But it's nice to see that now we have the son named to Idi Amin that is actually helping this team to revive the glory of boxing, in this region. So I think it's a plus. And we've seen just within a few weeks, or I would say 2 months, 2 to 3 months, the results are visible. Some guys have been called at the national level. I think, and if they keep up the pace, we could be seeing more young girls and men also making it to the national level.
Now, of course, it's a very big one. Oscar, what does that mean for West Nile at large?
Well, it really means a lot. It means that if there is anywhere that somebody feels that he can make a lot of fortunes, it is in sports.
True.
The concept of how sports can be a very good business opportunity has not been solved very well in West Nile. It is still fragile. If anyone wants to succeed, even if just opening an academy, or like you start a sports club, you have volleyball, you have netball, you have football, there is no way you're not going to succeed. Just look around, when you bring, just even boxing, who even knew those ladies would be there? I mean, you just used to have guys who would go to the gym, wants to do bodybuilding.
Then they say they are bouncers.
They say they are around all the clubs. When you go to the city, you see them. But when it gets to the real action, they cannot make it.
It's only Emma Scorpion who has tried.
The girls from nowhere. The girls from nowhere, you're seeing them. Even I didn't expect that I'm going to be seeing the faces of girls, because my thinking was like, hey, so these guys always are the bouncers. That means they are trained. But the results are not coming. So to me, honestly speaking, I think there's yet a lot. It's just a matter of that concept being sold as a business opportunity. I think we still have a very big potential to grow very, very further. But you touched something about Muni University. I think I covered that with you. That was in 2019. The National Woodball Championship here at the golf ground. So you get to wonder, the schools that went there from Arua was Arua Demonstration.
There were very many. Arua Demonstration came there, Muni University.
But it was the competition was at national level.
From Kampala,
the teams from Central were the teams that basically were competing. These other ones just went to participate.
Back up.
That's the truth. You could clearly see. They just went to add the numbers and they went to participate. Now I got an opportunity to interview the vice chancellor of Muni University, and she said they were committed to making sure that woodball and other sports disciplines should be developed and should be picked up very fast, especially by Muni University. From then up to date, we are yet to see progress. So I think this is a very good opportunity for us again to set the pace and follow as media. How far? The National University League, Muni University just participated in the qualifiers. Only 2 games, they're off the hook. So what is happening? We expect a serious netball team, we expect a serious volleyball team, we expect a serious basketball team, woodball, even boxing, because this is not a branch of a university. This is a fully fledged university.
Next move will be that is Mooney University, and I want to find out how far, because that was the university that was heading or spearheading the Woodball in there. So if you are watching us from Mooney University, we are coming, because that's where I want to follow up what happened to the Woodball, because we were also interested. We wanted to make a team of the media to follow up this. Let's take a break. We'll be right back to give you more of the analysis of different sports activities. But of course, in West Nile, we are going to be talking about the return of the the FUFA Big League, Star Times FUFA Big League. And what are we talking about? Is it, how do we see it? Because teams are now, the Big League this season is going to be live on TV. What will it add?
All the
to
games?
Some are going to be some. So we say
That's
Big League.
it.
Anyway, let's take a break. We'll be right back, as of course we will be coming back to discuss FUFA Big League before crossover.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that break, and I want to say it's still the whistle time live on West Nile TV. My name is Owen, and of course I have Joe Gaddafi, Oscar the Brazilian, all in the studios. Are we discussing now Big League, and of course one of the leagues that people follow a lot, the Uganda Second Tier League. And right now fixtures are out. Some changes in the fixtures. One of them is that of Calgary Football Club and Ndeje University. In the first tentative fixture, it was supposed to be on the 19th, but of course it has been shifted to 16th, a game that will be on Tuesday, and it's going to be live on TV. So some of the games that are going to be live already, that one, and of course a couple of the games will be live. And I want to start from there. Last season, ever since Star Times signed that agreement with the Uganda, of course the federation, they did say they took Big League and of course the Uganda Premier League, those two of course sides in there, and they have all rights to make sure that they broadcast the games. But in the previous, ever since they signed, they had never broadcasted the Big League games in there. Now this season they have come up with that way that they want to broadcast the games live on TV. How good is that, Joe, for the teams in Big League?
Well, I think they broadcasted some games. Arwahil's game last season, at least 2 of them were live. Yeah.
First of all, it's good publicity and marketing as well. But unfortunately, this time we only have one team from West Nile, and that is Calgary. And I would want to believe that we shall all rally behind to see that we add one more team. And it will be a massive one for West Nile, really. Unfortunately, Paidas did slip back to the regional league. That is unfortunate. Although it would have also provided a good derby, Big League derby. Because we're already seeing a derby in the Uganda Premier League. If at all we had this guys, Arwahil,
Paida Black Lions,
then Calvary to also give us another feel of the derby in the Big League, because I think the derbies in the Big League are proved to be more interesting compared to the ones we see in the Premier League, because the game between Arwahil and Nduparaka, it didn't seem like a derby. It seemed like just a normal game. As much as the two clubs and even the fans tried everything possible to make it a derby. This time around, the Big League format, of course, has changed. We had 16 teams in the previous season.
No, 12. Now 12. We have 12 of this season.
Now we have 12. And of course, Water also has already been disqualified.
That means 11 teams.
They are not challenged to come back. Now we're having 11 teams. And we're not having the Elgon and Benjori,
whatever
the
groupings.
But now we're having only one. I said this before that it's going to be a huge challenge. The big league, I don't think it's going to be so nice as it used to be because of the logistics, the travels. Remember the Elgon region, these guys used to play one region, and then we have this side. The distances were not that long. Now we are seeing a long distance. Don't we have a team in the Eastern?
Bukedi.
You have to even go as far as Tororo.
Tororo. And just from Kampala alone to Tororo is a whole distance of its own. Now
Arua.
not just from Arua, now from Midigo. up to the Eastern to play Black's Power.
No, Media Football Club, and then of course you have Black's
Black's
Power.
Power, Eastern.
Yes, Black's Power. So it's going to be a big challenge. If at all teams are going to manage, then you have to make early trips.
But they used to also have that in that group. But now maybe distances that you're going to be covering, if your team was going to go swing Marana, you'll have to travel. But don't you think that prepares teams to show that whether you're ready for these travels in the
Yes, that is true. That is true. And you can be sure that whichever team that will come out of this season's big league to the Uganda Premier League is going to be a good team because the challenges are going to be enormous. First of all, this team need a lot of sponsorship now because of logistic purposes, movement, the players, and all that. And most of the club owners have said, I think the biggest league is the big league. The moment you get to the Uganda Premier League, you can settle it. There are not so many challenges. The big league has proved to be a very, very big challenge. But I'm looking at Calgary really try to do something this time. The team has had an enormous overhaul of its administration, and then we've seen a lot of players coming in. 2 good experienced coaches. They have handled young players from different places. Of course, he was the coach for
Acholi
Province, and then we have the assistant who was also
Bukedi.
the coach.
Black's Power now.
Exactly. And we
He
saw
has a lot of experience in the league.
Yes, he's had very many years at Black's Power before coming to Calgary. And I think those 2 years working together will give the club something bigger in terms of their performance in this season big league.
Oscar, looking at the big league this season, yes, that's your submission. But of course, yes, you say some of the games were live, but if you look at the games, there were few selected games that were live last season. This time around, at least every team will have a feel of the live, and you will be like Arua here at Greenlight. I'm seeing around 4 games that will be live on TV out of those that will be coming in there. So you look at all that.
Out of 21?
Out of the 20, it's not going to be 22, of course. So
The
you look at that because you have
it will be
travels.
20 because
20, of course, 20, the 11, yeah, 20 games. So it gives you a feel of that. But of course, looking at this, Oscar, how are you rating the big league? Are we seeing the improvement that FIFA did say in the pro agenda? Because sometimes back they say they want Uganda to be the leading football country in Africa. But of course, a country that does not even have a standard stadium that can host national games, apart from St. Mary's Tender. But for the country, it's not there. It's a private one. So, do you see these standards coming? The big league.
Arua Hill Stadium maybe will offer another opportunity.
It's not yet there. They are working on it.
Yeah, but
Right now, if you World Cup was to come,
we hope so. Maybe they can host Sekafa games. But we hope so. We hope that it meets standards. But yes, I think not to a greater extent, but I think there's going to be some improvement. I used not to be a fan of this other side playing that way, this other side playing this way. And then when this
So you have
one
playoffs.
finishes number 1, this one number 1, they qualify automatically.
then you mix
These ones have to come through playoffs.
double playoffs, including
No.
the final.
I feel like having it as a one group is going to be better in a way that, you know, there are 3 teams going to be relegated. So there are 3 teams that are going to come. I think number 1 to number 3 qualifies automatically.
Automatic. And
That is going to be a plus. And again,
4 will be
in
relegated.
the big league, it is very, very good that in the regional league, it is good that they have come back to the same format where once the number 1 team qualifies,
yeah.
not like you finish here in West Nile
One
region.
play.
No, even if first of all you finish Nyagak region and the Nile zone,
You come and
then
meet,
you first come and meet.
play.
After playing, You think you're already qualified, you're yet to play and from Northern region. After there, I mean, it is too hectic. And you know that there's limited financing in the regional league. But I think this one, it will come as a challenge for the teams to now start doing their marketing well, so that they can get finances. And how I wish also FUFA gets organized in a way that we have seen a lot of challenges in officiation when it gets to especially big league. Big league has been very challenging. So can this also be worked on? I want to really live to see when FUFA is going to get rid of the mafias in between them.
But can that happen in Uganda?
Well, one, I am from the other side of Congo. I'm not a good, but from the other side of Congo. So I always admire how you guys do your things, but I don't want to do it like that. But you see, the mafias earn a lot from the system. But again, they degrade. I mean, that progress doesn't come that instant. Sometimes I keep asking myself, if with all the challenges we are facing here, you people in Uganda are facing here, but you're still rated number 1 in Sekafa, Sekafa region. What if those challenges are not there? Don't you think you'll be contributing
the continental level?
Competing at continental level. Isn't that where you guys want to go? So you talk to your people. Some of us, I mean, we're not privileged. Just talk to your people.
That's where I want to stop with that discussion, but of course I want to say it's a very nice moment having you right on the show. But of course we're taking a break. We'll be coming back to discuss Eddie Howe and of course Newcastle United. All in all, how exactly will he manage that Arab money? Now it's a very big fund that has been, or a team he has come into is a team that has a lot of fund. Will that funding change Newcastle United? Is where we are going to be. And is Howe the right coach for Newcastle United? Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that break, and I want to say let's go internationally with a very big question coming right there. Newcastle United, after of course parting ways, they had to get a very new coach who has been in the Premier League, but of course to them he's a new coach. I'm talking about the former Bournemouth coach, and he is by the name of Eddie Howe, who is coming into the team, or who has already arrived into the team, is going to be taking charge of Newcastle United. Now Newcastle United, remember, have got in a new funder who has even more money than that is the Man City boss right now.
Even more money than Abramovich. 10 times, even 20 times more than Abramovich.
Exactly. Is Howe the right coach or manager to handle the Arab money that has been brought in the club?
To be honest with you, I'm yet to evaluate how feasible that deal is, because
2 years deal.
You track the history of Eddie Howe. He's only managed 2 clubs. That's Burnley and Bournemouth, and he spent most of his managerial life at Bournemouth. First spell 2008-11, before he moved to Burnley for only 1 year actually. 1 season, that was 2011 to 12. Then he returned 2012 up to 2019, yeah, when they were relegated, and he resigned. So he's been jobless since 2020, last year.
And things have changed in the current era.
Yeah, things have changed, and now he's coming in as a manager of Newcastle. Track back his history. He has 524 games under his belt, winning around 200, losing over 200, and drawing around.
His winning
100.
rate is around 38%. That is the summary, really.
And around 1.5 rating per game,
Yeah.
goals per game. And you can see, I thought Newcastle was coming on board to give the game a different feeling. They seem to be continuing the mediocre system, hiring coaches that cannot make a difference, just like United, bringing in Ole that doesn't have history of winning games at that kind of level, and then you bring in a manager like that. Of course, I think they were running out of ideas. They wanted Unai Emery. Talks with him actually didn't go through well. I think
Because
also,
he affirmed his loyalty to
Yes.
to Villarreal.
yes, and then they are doing well. I thought
they are.
he wouldn't want to come back and start on a sad note.
And he didn't have a good time at Arsenal.
Yeah, and then you look at they looked at Zidane. If Zidane can really Zidane go to?
He's saying he's waiting for the papers have it that he's waiting for the job of Manchester United.
He's waiting for Ole to go.
Or else the one of Didier
Of the-
Deschamps.
yeah,
He
for
wants
France.
the one of
Those
national
two
team.
posts.
But me, I'm a bit disappointed with the appointment of. I thought they would bring in a coach just to finish the season, if at all, to buy for them time.
But they have
To
given him
get-
2 years.
They have given him 2 years.
That
I
means in
thought
January he can buy.
they would get in someone to just push the season to its end, and then they bring in a real manager if they cannot afford, because managers today, the English Premier League Europe is running out of managers.
That's
The
true.
managers we used to know are no longer.
Especially English managers.
Exactly, and it's a big challenge now. That's why you find a team like United struggling to find a coach. Many Man U legends are very happy that Conte actually went to Spurs, because he would change the entire system of how United operates. And then they were rooting for Zidane. He hasn't had experience across Europe. He only played he had his managerial role at Madrid.
Madrid.
He's not had a feeling of any other club apart from that one.
Even Premier League. The last time he was supposed to maybe come to England was when they had the golden generation of Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah.
The Blackburn Rovers coach wanted him, but the bosses asked him, why do you want him when we have Alan Shearer?
Now, leaving that there, of course, Manchester United are saying in today's papers report that Manchester United have no plans of sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that could be a happy moment for Arsenal fans, because they know, they say, and they keep saying, if he's there, that's a customer. But let's leave that there now. Aston Villa and Norwich also both in the weekend had parted ways with their coaches, and they're looking forward in their now vacant places in their Norwich, Aston Villa looking forward. You look at all this. I want you to give me a hint, just a brief about the Newcastle and the Howe, and then of course we get to those vacant posts where of course very many names you've seen coming on board, trying to being linked with these clubs to take over in there. Who would be the right coach for that is Aston Villa for to go in there, and of course Norwich City?
Well, I must say equally I am disappointed with
In Eddie Howe appointment.
Yeah, I mean, all that money, you are trusting a coach who doesn't have a history of succeeding, not even going to a semi-final of a FA Cup or even the English League Cup.
Maybe probably they did so because he was the coach of the decade 2005 after 3 success.
Do those things still
In
work?
the championship,
He did promote
he did from the
3 times
championship.
in 7
Yes.
years. Probably
Yes,
that's
he
why
did.
they are trying to bring
He
on
did.
to avoid relegation for Newcastle.
It did, but I am still not convinced, because I also equally expected that they should bring in a manager who can help them survive relegation. Right now, they're second from bottom. So the best thing for them to do right now is to bring a manager who can keep them in the league. Then they start a new era from next season. But they have given him 2 years. So the 2 years really, to me, I feel that is not enough. Though I know you can be sacked in between. That is possible. But all the same, I expected a rebuilding process to have been started. There are other better managers, by the way, I would think of, who are out of management. Alan Pardew knows Newcastle more than any other person. He built Newcastle with the likes of Cheick Tiote, with the likes of Demba Ba, with the likes of Fabrizio Coloccini, with the likes of Elan Gutierrez, Shay Given. He built Newcastle to a team that would even come to Old Trafford and beat Manchester United. A team that will beat City, the likes of Papi Cisse, will beat
Chelsea.
will beat Chelsea, will beat any other team. They
No,
even
Chelsea will never forget about that.
up to
But
the
score,
they even
yeah.
even took them up to Europe. They were playing in Europa. So I thought a manager like Alan Pardew would know best how to handle a team like Newcastle United. Perhaps even now, starting from there, you will tell me you have good players in that team. The likes of San Maximan, the likes of Wilson. You have the likes of Fraser. There's the likes of Jamal Lascelles in that team. I mean, there are several players, but you see, Steve Bruce was having a mentality of his game approach was much more of defensive. I don't support a manager who plays five at the back. To me, that is nonsense.
Yeah,
Why
so
do I
yeah.
play five at the back? So honestly, to me,
And now Norwich.
I feel that honestly, Alan Pardew is still available. Big Sam Allardyce. If you need a crisis manager,
Is he not getting too old?
doesn't matter. You only want him to survive. Just survive. You have a plan B from the following season. You just need to first of all be in the league. So Big Sam is available. I don't know why they should go look at someone like Eddie Howe. Maybe they want him to build a team. But can he build a team when his system is so traditional? He calls it a modern version.
Let's wait and
of
see
a
how
4-4-1-1.
he's going to be performing.
But anyway, we wait to see. So honestly, those are the two I expected that they could have actually put.
Now, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, some key figures in the Premier League that have been as players. Would they make a good coach?
Yeah, they will make good coaches. Especially, I will look at a team that was left by Dean Smith at Aston Villa. The best person to handle that team is Frank Lampard. He has demonstrated that at Derby County. He did with the few players that were on loan from Chelsea at Derby County. He did very well with them. Then he was appointed to handle Chelsea. He did very good with the young players. He kept Chelsea in the Champions League. A big team like Chelsea kept them in the Champions League. I think the trouble came in when they started spending on the likes of the Kai Havertz or the likes of Hakim Ziyech or the likes of Timo Werner. I think he just failed how to manage the big names. But in actual sense, he has a very good philosophy of playing a 3-4-3. He plays a 4-2-3-1. He plays a 4-3-3. He has played well against big managers like Jose Mourinho. He has beaten them. Played well against teams like Tottenham Hotspur. He has beaten them. To me, I feel the best person, and Dean Smith was equally playing a good 4-3-3. He has good players in his team. So I feel the best manager to handle Aston Villa from where they are to bring them to somewhere better is going to be, of all the available managers. I know there is Frank Lampard. I know there is Thierry Henry who is waiting for a job. I know there is Martinez. I know there is even John Terry, who was formerly there, waiting for his opportunity. But the best person is Frank Lampard for me.
Joe, do you agree with that?
I may have a different opinion. As much as Lampard has garnered some experiences under his belt, he was at Chelsea, of course, and so he knows how the Premier League is like. But we also know Gerrard. Most of the reports coming in show that actually they're more interested in Gerrard.
His odds are dropping.
Yeah,
I know because of how he has been winning.
Yeah,
the whole of last season, not being unbeaten.
He did break the
Celtic
dreams
for
of
fun.
Celtic. Nine successful league titles.
Yeah.
Breaking that with Rangers, I think that was a plus, and that's why maybe they're eyeing him so much. But papers are reporting that actually they're set to. Aston Villa is set to have talks with Rangers to see how they can negotiate the release of Gerrard to come and join in there. So, but I still believe Gerrard will still do for me. As much as Premier League is at another level, we need a coach also who has had experience of the league. So, but like you said, Gerrard as well. I mean, Lampard would be a good choice. as well.
Okay,
But
the
I
two
think the two, one of the
are
two-
looking very good
Yes,
for that job. Okay, let's say our time is really low and it's running down. Time is money, and just a few. Manchester United's Paul Pogba has withdrawn from the France national team, and that means this break that is coming in there. Remember, Premier League is not going to be there this week. All the league games are going to be there. Players are going for international break, and this player will not be available for selection. He has withdrawn from, that is the team of France. And I want to say thank you so much for watching Whistle Time, and this is West Nile TV, lighting up the region. We are the Whistle Timers. Awadifu minangiri emini amane sale video milikini emia emi TV. Bedene awadifu kani bane difiba dikara liduse.
West Nile TV. May you dare ingamwa.
Shepherded by Jesus Christ.
Radio Network. He is also with the West Nile Press Association.
Viewer, and welcome to the Viewpoint on West Nile Television.
On the 19th of December 1993, and was ordained a deep.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Hey, why aren't I up there? My heart, say you love.
I've watched Sports Club when that saga of Mbabazi.
West Nile Television is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Christine again. I like to hustle on the beat. Gana riandi le pe. Una riandi le pe. Tanzania no anyumundo le pe. Anyumundo le pe. Finally, I am in love with somebody. Finally, I am in love with somebody. Finally, I am in love with somebody. Finally, I am in love with somebody.
Rumbina la lila galabula, a ring in my sister. Rumbina no kanaganabuna, a ring in my brother. Kuda rumbila lila galabu, kuda rumbino kanaganabu. Nali penye sozo, yeah. Nali tinenye sozo. Inadoke la lukumata. Tikingunu iyete kuda rumbino kananabu. Tikingunu iyete